All right, INDYCAR in Japan. I wanted to make this video for such a long time. I absolutely love Japan as a country and especially as a car enthusiast. That is where the birth of a lot of our greatest sports cars have come from. So I thought to myself, you know what? What if they went back there? Of course, the last time we did race there, 2011. Can you believe it was 13 years ago that they last ran at the Twin Ring? Of course, Scott Dixon winning there. But anyways, let's go racing at Okayama. We've got this lovely 2024 field. Of course, the actual season almost coming to an end. Very sad. It's been a great year. We only have one race left. We are off to Nashville. Milwaukee was actually quite exciting. The two races there. I would say that was an overwhelming success for INDYCAR, but as of right now, we are racing in Japan, overseas. A little bit of a late start from the right side there. Of course, we can't cross over to the right until we cross the line, which we do now. Oh my God. Okay. I gotta be honest with you, I was looking in my right mirror. I was not looking at the track at all. Somehow I didn't hit anything. I have no idea how. That could have been absolutely catastrophic. But that's just good reaction times, I guess. I'm gonna go to the outside here. This field of view is throwing me off. I turn up my field of view for when I'm recording videos as opposed to what I regularly drive. So sometimes it's a little disorienting to drive from this far back. I can't really see objects as well, but I will stop making excuses and I will just deal with it. I did not want to go up the inside there. That was just a little scrape to the front wing. That won't cause any damage or anything. I'm gonna leave some room to the inside for that exact reason, so we could swoop around the outside there. We'll go first gear here. We're only a lap into the race, so the outside isn't gonna be that dirty when it comes to marbles and stuff. We might even be able to get something like this. Just try and preserve these tires for the first lap while they're going through their progression stage into the operating temperature. Well, let's talk a little bit about Okayama. This track is quite a small one. It's only about a minute and 15-second lap for an IndyCar, which is about normal. Most laps for IndyCars are around that time, so I think the exception being Road America, to be honest with you. That is quite a long lap for an IndyCar. But this track really suits a lot of other characteristics that IndyCar tracks have. If I can focus on driving and talking at the same time. A lot of, like, IndyCar tracks don't really have super long straights. Aside from Indianapolis is one of the only ones I can think of that has a really long straight like that. Maybe Detroit as well, which also has a really long straight. Road America is, of course, a long straight, but it's also uphill. I am driving like a donkey right now. Okay, there we go. Just settle down for a second. Okay. Look at this train we have ahead of us. Somebody's backing this whole thing up. But this track, I don't know, something about it just screams IndyCar to me, which is why I wanted to include it in this video. All right, Kyle, I'm going to battle with you here. I'm going to keep it nice and close with you. We race hard here in IndyCar. This is no Formula One driving. We race each other super hard. Okay, fair enough. It seems like he heard me. We'll do a little switchback here. Don't push the pass here. We'll chuck it up the inside. Actually, no, we won't. Let's go around the outside here. Oh, these guys are putting on quite the fight right now. They are putting on quite the fight. How about this? This is exactly what I'm talking about, guys. This is why this track would be awesome for this series. It's like, it's just the perfect size for an IndyCar. I don't know really how else to explain that. But it just feels so right, and that's the only way I can explain it to you guys. It just feels right. That's what the best racetracks are. The ones that just feel right. It doesn't feel forced or anything like that. A little bit of a lockup there. I am really not driving the best here at Okayama. This is such a chaotic pack of cars. I'm gonna... Oh, I tried. Oh, what was that? I think that was only a little touch there. That'll only take off some vinyl wrap. I am not making that. No way. Oh my God. Grosjean type send. Okay, let's just actually lock in here and just very gently on the power. That should get us by him. Yep, we'll chop across. Make sure we go to second here. We'll drag the brake in a little bit. Push to pass. White flag. Okay, I have no idea what position we are in. That has been a chaotic middle section of the video. I am going for moves that don't exist at the moment, so... Oh, my word. Oh, the Andrettis are not going to be happy with me after today. I just missed my shift. That gave up that position. Oh, man, I just cannot get by Kyle here. He is really putting on quite the fight, and I'm ripping all the wrap off of the front nose. Maybe we'll have one more attempt here. Surely we've got to have this one. Surely we got to have this one. Oh my god, I suck at driving. Holy cow. Oh, that was dirty. That was so dirty. Okay, that I deserve to be reprimanded for that one. That was so rude. I would have just gotten a drive-through penalty for what I just did there. I just weaved across the track like a madman trying to defend that position, but oh well. Anyways, that is a taste of INDYCAR at Okayama. We would be in for a treat if we saw anything like that. That was proper 2024 Indy driving standards there. Oh, I'm shaking my head. That was wild. Anyways, let's go turn left for a change. Let's go around in some circles. Look at this. He sends a dive bomb up the inside after the race is over. He's not happy. All right, let's go turn left, American style. Let's do it. Kind of just have to stay in that rubber line. It's all about maintaining that momentum. Once you add banking into the equation of something, it just totally changes the whole... Oh! Oh! Shit! Oh, no! Oh, no, 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 no. I hit the wall so hard. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. I can't believe how hard I hit the wall. Look at how hard I hit the wall. Oh, oh my God. And right here? Oh, jeez. Dude, if that happened in real life, that would have been a massive accident. All right. I'm laughing to myself because I just had to include that last clip in the video. That was way too funny not to include. I was trying to give tips about driving on ovals in an Indy car, and I just binned it so hard into the wall. That was like one of the biggest like actual crashes I think I've had in a long time. That was a genuine error that I made. Anyways, so I'm gonna leave that in the video, but as you can tell, I obviously did just do this race, and it did not go great. Let's just say that. Ended in tears and very expensive parts flying all over the track. But anyways, the twin ring Motegi. I love this track. INDYCAR hasn't been here in 13 years, man. I can't believe it's been that long. 2011 the last time they went here. Our boy Scott Dixon was the one who won it. And man, I would just love to see INDYCARs go around Motegi again. But we're coming up to the green. Of course, INDYCAR in Japan was just a staple for such a long time, and I just wish that they would go back. And wouldn't it be so cool if they did like a whole trip there? You know, if they knocked out Okayama, Suzuka, and the twin ring all in one go, like that would just be absolutely phenomenal. And it would make it even better if they weren't exhibition races either. If they were actual points races, how cool would that be? But I don't know if that is ever a realistic option, because INDYCAR kind of considers themselves a realistic, not realistic, I was trying to say the word regional. They consider themselves a regional championship, or technically that's what it's considered. So I don't know if having races in another country is, you know, something that they can actually do. But why not? Let's just go international. I mean, INDYCAR is one of the most unique open wheel series in the world. Probably one of the most unique. Even though it's a spec series, the fact that they race on ovals is just the craziest thing ever. Graham Rahal really taking it slow. Oh, he is all over the place. Okay, I am just... he almost put me in the wall, man. Damn. Okay. Anyways, let's just focus on a little bit of driving here. And we'll talk a little bit about Japan and INDYCAR and just what that connection means. And I think the Japanese, they really would love to have INDYCAR back. Of course, we have Super Formula, but Super Formula is more comparable to Formula One, if I'm being honest. That's why you see so many drivers from Super Formula go to F1 and succeed much quicker than drivers from other series, because that series is very, very similar to the way that a Formula One car drives, or at least the car is. An IndyCar is a beast of its own. These things are just absolutely wild. There really is no other car out there right now that operates the way an IndyCar does, because IndyCars are actually quite old, if you didn't know. This chassis hasn't changed since like 2013. It's the same exact chassis that they were using 10 years ago. But the only thing about it is that they just changed the aero on the front and the rear wings. And of course, now they have the hybrid unit, which, to be honest with you, we don't know if that has benefited the series or made it worse. We're still yet to figure that out. But so far, it's been so good. And it seems to be working pretty okay. I really have got to stop sending it in so deep. I'm running the hot line on my own out here. So I think I'm going to start kind of tucking it in towards the bottom a little bit more. But let's try and actually talk about what I was trying to talk about last time before I sent it into the wall, which was driving on an oval. I used to think it wasn't that interesting. I used to really not be a fan of it because I was a NASCAR fan growing up. The older I got, I kind of became less interested in NASCAR. Not really sure why. It just didn't really excite me the same way as it used to back in the early 2000s. But when I started getting into racing again, when I was exiting high school, I found out about INDYCAR, and I loved INDYCAR just because the fact that they do both is just like the coolest thing in the world to me. Like, the drivers have got to be so skilled that they've got to be able to do both, and I think that's so cool. That just truly shows how skilled these drivers are. They're not good at just one thing. They got to be able to do both, and I think that is just like the sickest thing in the world. And so because of that, I kind of got a little bit more into oval racing and trying to figure out what does it really take to drive ovals. And that's where I learned how complex driving on an oval actually is, and just how different it is from driving on a road course. It is the polar opposite of everything they teach you when it comes to road course driving. It's all about carrying momentum and understanding the banking of the track and trying to feel out where the grip is, where as opposed to when you're driving on a road course, right, everything is all about taking the fastest line possible, and it's all about the braking. Really, that's where most of the time is gained, whereas on the oval, everything is all about momentum and understanding how to navigate through clean and dirty air and understanding the rubber line and what lines are progressing throughout the course of a race. And so that is why I really fell in love with it. It is super, super technical. Luca's going to leave us some room to the outside here. We will capitalize off of that. So why I was talking about that was to understand this dark line. Whoa! David got a little antsy there. Please don't take me out. Okay, it looks like he thought better of that. This rubber line that you see on the track, you're going to see it into the bottoms of 3 and 4 here. That is ideally where you want to be. And in real life, you really can't go much beyond where that rubber line is. As soon as you get in the marbles, the moment you overstep that boundary, you just literally coast straight into the wall. There is no grip whatsoever. So it is so much more precise than some people may think it is. And I've always wanted to share that knowledge because I used to be the same way as those people. I used to think oval racing was kind of dumb. But now that I really learned about it and I spent the time to figure out how it actually works, it is just the coolest thing in the world to me. For open wheelers, I just absolutely love the fact that IndyCars race on ovals. It is the most unique thing to me, in my personal opinion. So, so cool. But here we are at Motegi, as I've just been kind of yapping away, cruising through this race. We've got about 3.5 laps to go here. This turn 3 and 4, very difficult. This is one thing about this track that I guess my best way I could portray it to you, for you watching this video, is this is kind of like Gateway, in a sense. It's basically the same configuration as Gateway, except inverted. So instead of 1 and 2 being the shorter side, it's kind of like 3 and 4 are the shorter side. But you just take the corners and you just add a ton of banking to them instead. And you get this really interesting oval that's kind of like nothing else out there. It's very, very odd. It's very wide as well. There's so much room to the outside. Granted, I don't know how much of it you would actually be able to use in a race. It doesn't seem like you could use a whole bunch of it, but if you go into the second line here, like I'm coasting around this second line, you can get some momentum and work your way around the outside. There we go. we were able to get that one done. Santino Ferrucci, he's shown tremendous improvement this year. Man, he has been on fire in that AJ Foyt car, I do have to say. Definitely one of my surprises throughout the season. But we are down to our final 2 laps here, chasing down this McLaren at the end. Alexander Rossi, of course, his time with McLaren coming to an end when this season wraps up at Nashville. I'm excited for that, by the way. Be sure to tune into that if you guys do not watch IndyCar regularly. I think that's going to be something really interesting. First time in a while, IndyCar has had the finale on an oval. I think that really separates it from other racing series right there, and I think that's the way it should be. I'm really, really excited to see how that turns out. But this was just a good little insight on how cool oval racing can be and why I want IndyCar to go back to Japan so bad. I think it would just be the coolest thing in the world. Sugoi, as they would say, which means awesome. Oh, can we get one right at the line here? Looks like it. Oh, we got lucky there. How about that? All right, I have no idea where we finished, but that was a pretty decent race. But there's one more track we need to go to, because it is the holy grail of Japanese tracks. I need to see what Indy cars would be like at Suzuka. Let's head over to the seaside and let's do some racing at Suzuka International Circuit. Let's go. All right, here we are at Suzuka. I absolutely love this place. This is easily my favorite track in the world. We have our go-kart Suzuka track to the left just there on the screen, which is kind of like this cool little go-kart track they have. There's actually quite a few go-kart tracks around here, but this track is actually right next to the ocean. I did not know that, but when I did some research on Google Maps a few weeks ago, I did realize that this track is right next to the water, which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, this is just about an hour or so from Nagoya, I believe. So Nagoya, a major city in Japan, one of the major cities that they have aside from Tokyo. And yeah, just what a cool place this is. So much history here. I absolutely love this track so much. It's just the coolest place in the world to me. It is easily my favorite track to drive. I have done thousands and thousands of laps around here, and here we go, racing some Indy cars around Suzuka. Of course, the iRacing scan a little bit old now. The track does look quite different these days, but we'll have to just do our best now. I'm gonna take all these freebies here. That was like 3 or 4 spots. Just kind of go up the inside here. Gotta be a little cautious. The AI seems to be a little scared to do anything at the start here, so I'm just gonna, I don't know, maybe follow Kirkwood here around the outside so we get the inside for the next sector. That seems like a good plan to me if we just don't run into him. Ericsson having a good fight with us here to the outside. This is a disaster waiting to happen, so I'm gonna, okay, he decided to bail out of that instead. I will gladly take that. I'm trying not to rip my front wing off here. You can see this is very much backed up. Oh my god. Okay, chill out, Linus. Oh, jeez. Okay, you know what? We'll just go right there. That'll be more than fine, I think. Just lead onto the power here. This is Kiffin Simpson in front of us. I think he's had a decent year so far for his first year in IndyCar. I would say I'm quite impressed. I do watch pretty much every single race, and he's been pretty decent so far. So props to him. Of course, a lot of new guys in the field this year. Linus Lundqvist, Kiffin Simpson, so many others. Toby Sowery, Luca Giotto was in there as well. There was a lot going on when it comes to IndyCar. I had to live there for a second. Just shift into the final chicane here. Okay, now we can get started. Yeah, Suzuka, a lot of history around here. This is such a cool track to me. Just the layout of it is absolutely insane. There is not another track in the world that is like this. I mean, it is just the coolest racetrack in the world. And I don't know, it's just something about the surroundings of it as well that really make me fall in love with this place. Like, it just looks so cool. I don't really know how else to explain that. The only other track that I can think of that kind of gives me that feeling is maybe Spa. Spa looks really, really insane as well. Of course, iRacing just got a new updated Spa, so we'll have to try that out at some point in some car, but this is a workout. In these type of cars, at this track, of course, as I've already mentioned, Indy cars have no power steering, which means they are very, very heavy. It's very difficult to get this thing to go around corners. And the steering is quite a bit of work. You can hear it in my voice having to maneuver this thing around. I'm having to use quite a bit of muscle, but if you're frail like an anime degenerate like I am, then it is a little bit difficult to get around a track with no power steering. Surprisingly enough, the car I own in real life, which is a EF Civic hatch, it doesn't have any power steering either, so the steering in that can be quite heavy, so I'm a little bit used to it. And I do have to say, not that that car is anything similar to an Indy car, but this does feel quite similar to that car. The way that the wheel feels, it's kind of close. But I would say the forces in my Civic are a little bit stronger, so I can't imagine what the forces of an Indy car are actually like. It's probably way heavier than what I have it set to right now, but I do have my force feedback set quite high, because I do like a lot of information on the steering wheel. I don't seem to be making many positions up here. We got Kiffin Simpson going for a lunge here. I almost just sent the car into the wall. I can just hold the outside here. He is really going after it. I'm gonna kind of chop across the track. Hopefully he doesn't capitalize off of that. I really need to catch up to this group in front of me. I have the AI set really, really high on like 120% because honestly, every time I tried doing these races, I had them set to like 90 to 110% and I was just blown by them. So, oh boy, speaking of that, I almost just sent myself off of the track. I am really hustling this thing right now. But these guys are very... Oh, come on. You damn car. Just stop for me for 1 second. Okay, there we go. These guys are set quite high, so I wanted it to be a bit of a challenge. I wanted it to, like, really be what it would be like for an IndyCar race. I didn't want to just, you know, fly through the field. But this looks like it would be quite the challenge. I mean... These cars really succeed at the smaller tracks, but it's also just such a good racing package. I mean, Indy cars, honestly, it seems like wherever they go, they seem to do pretty okay. So I don't think I'd be too concerned about it at all. I think it would be more than a proper showing for our beloved North American Racing Series. We're down to the white flag lap. I haven't made up that many positions today, but we are chasing... I don't know who's driving this car. There have been so many different drivers in this car this year. I don't know which one they decided to put in the actual thing. Kyle Kirkwood flying by us here. Fair play. Well done. There was just not much I can do about that. That is just nicely done right there. We will follow him for the end of this video on our final lap at Suzuka. See if we can get a little bit of a better lap time here. If I stop focusing on talking so much and focus on the actual driving part. A little bit of oversteer there. These red sticker tires not exactly holding up all that well, considering I've been over driving the car pretty much this whole video. That is not going to work. Let's just not do that. We'll back out of that one. That was a little bit ambitious. Maybe we can get a better run if we go a little deeper here. We can kind of straighten the car out a little bit. We'll go push to pass here, see if we can send it in on Kyle. I'm going to try and really force my nose up to the inside here. I don't know if I'm being late. Boy. Oh, yep, I just hit him. Okay. Well, that was a bit of a dirty move. But this is IndyCar, baby. We race each other hard here. That's America for you. Oh, he wants more. He wants more, but I'm on that push to pass. I'm not giving him any slipstream. Oh boy, this is gonna be close. He wants to overtake me. Oh, look at that. Nailed the chicane. There we go. Beautiful defensive driving. Alright, that was our race at Suzuka. That was an interesting one. We didn't overtake many cars that time around. I was kind of struggling, to be honest with you. I don't think that was my best drive ever. But, nonetheless, I think... My race engineer just said, I don't know what happened with that, and I agree. I absolutely wholeheartedly agree. I don't know what happened with that one either. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments, would you like to see IndyCar go back to Japan? I think it would be just awesome. I think it would be so awesome. I want to go to Japan so bad, and I would love nothing more than to go to Japan and watch some freaking Indy cars race around a racetrack. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Matane!